Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. Man, it's been a while since I've been able to do a video, but we've been dealing with the kitchen remodel. It's coming along pretty good. We're actually on our second dumpster of the transformation. Right now we have the guy in there doing some mudding and taping. We did the drywall, hired the mudding and taping out just because of the fact of it would take me forever to do it because I suck at it. So he gets it done in a couple of days, makes my life easier, and I can move on to something else. But in the meantime, I thought we would get to some first gen content. Gonna do an oil change. We have had some issues with the brakes. The brake booster right there is out of it. And while we're doing it, figure we'll go ahead and do the master cylinder too, and then also gonna go ahead and start with some just in general service work. Gonna get the oil change, the oil filter, get some stiction eliminator in it. You guys know I am a firm believer of Hot Shots. Link is in the description as always. 10% off your entire purchase. Also going to do some door pins. Get rid of some saggy doors. We got some saggy doors going on, so we got to get rid of those. Like I said, I've got some issues with the brakes. Got a hissing when I push on the pedal, so I'm going to say that the bladder that's inside the brake booster is bad. So I'm going to replace that. While I was at it, you can see how wet that master cylinder is. I can buy just a lid, but while I got everything apart, I may as well go ahead and do the master cylinder too. If you look right there, it's probably going to be our saving grace that we can actually get this off because of the brake fluid that's on there. So hopefully these nuts turn and we can get those out without breaking the lines. I don't want to have to replace any lines, but if I do, I do. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and remove the vacuum lines. And that's just some pinch clamps right there off of the check valve. You got the check valve up front. You got your major or your vacuum line that comes up from your pump to the booster itself. Then you got some small lines come off of it. You got 2 bolts that hold your reservoir on. Then you got 4 bolts inside the cab underneath the steering column that holds it to the firewall. Then you have just a little spring clip on your pedal itself. For the parts, I just went ahead and went to my local O'Reilly. I don't get any kickback from O'Reilly. I just like to go there for my parts. There's a couple of people there I like to deal with. Sean and Mark, they take care of me very well. The other guys are pretty good too, but I'm pretty partial when I go in there who I like to have take care of me. As far as my brake pad, like I said, it's a work truck. I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on parts, so we're just going to go ahead. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties there. Anyway, right there's part number for some brake vest parts. I don't go overboard. It's going to be a work truck, so that's the master cylinder there. These will need brake bled. Bench bled. We'll go over that here in just a little bit. You got some plugs that you put inside there for some bench bleeding. Same way with the brake booster itself. Nothing needs done, just put in. Right there's the part number on the brake booster itself. These are just a Dorman hinge pin. Right there's the part number on the door pins themselves. Gonna get those. I probably will not get to those today, but while I'm doing the brake stuff, I figured I might as well do some general maintenance. So let's go ahead and get started and get the brake booster and the master cylinder out of there. I don't think I'm gonna put everything together as one. I guess I could after I bench bleed that. We'll just put things together piece by piece. It makes it a little bit easier, and you don't have to fight as much to get things in there. But on that, there's all kinds of room. All right, get started. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and take some vacuum lines off. Just get you a pair of pliers. You got a couple ring clamps there. That actually broke off the check valve in there, so we're going to have to fish that piece out of there. Just remember if that happens to you, or I might just see if I have some different hose and take it right off of that TY there, and we'll just use a new section of hose right there. Now we can go ahead and grab 14 millimeter, take the nuts off of the master cylinder. Set those aside over here because you will need to reuse those. And you just take your brake master cylinder and set it to the side right there. It probably would be a good idea if you're going to let it sit like that to grab you some wire and maybe wire it up to your air horn. Now we need to go inside the cab, get the 4 bolts off for this and the clip off the master cylinder, and then we can take the brake booster out. Alright, to film this might be relatively difficult, so I'm going to show you how to finish getting your brake booster out. So you got a clip right here that's on your brake pedal. Then you got 4 bolts, one there, and then on top of both of those that you need to take off to be able to take the booster out. That's where it's captured through the firewall right there. So those are 14mm also. That's just a flathead screw to get that clip off of there, and then you'll be able to take your booster out. I was able to take the extension, couple extensions with a wobble end and then a swivel, and get most of the bolts off. So now let's go ahead and go grab the booster and get it out of there. Alright, you gotta remember to take the arm off of the brake lever before you try and pull it out of there. I pulled the pin off, or pulled the clip off there and forgot to take it off the pin off the pedal. So do a little quick visual inspection. Got 3 ports on that check valve. We have 1, 2, 3 ports on that check valve. Everything looks good and the same. We'll go ahead and put this in the truck and then go ahead and turn our attention to the master cylinder itself. So trying to cover a multitude of things in one shot with the maintenance, and then just some general maintenance, that things that need done in the truck itself. We got the brake booster in place. I'm gonna go ahead and leave these vacuum lines off until we get the master cylinder in place. Gonna see if we can get those lines broke loose. I'm pretty confident that they're gonna come loose. So now we're gonna turn our attention. Got some stiction eliminator going in the oil reservoir. Got the oil filter on. Was remarkably impressed on how well and how good a shape this turbo is. There's no shaft play at all. Up and down, side to side. Oh, sorry. Duh, that's the same. I'm sorry. In and out or side to side movement. There is no turbo play at all in that wheel. So that's going to actually be coming off here relatively soon. So we're going to be swapping out the turbo for something just a little bit different. And now we're going to go ahead and do the master cylinder. We do have to do a bench bleed on this. So we'll take it back there to the vise and we'll go through the steps on the way I'm going to do it. There's a couple of different ways you could do bench bleeds on these. Alright, there's 2 different ways to bench bleed your brake master cylinder. The way I'm going to do it is just plug these 2 off, push on the piston until all the air bubbles are stopped coming out of each chamber. The other way to do it is these little plugs will have a little barbed end on them. You bring them up and you clip them into said reservoir, front being front, rear being rear, and then you just keep circulating the fluid until all the air bubbles are out of it that way. When you're doing this, you just damn near want to make sure, or you definitely want to make sure to have the correct fluid. There's .3 and .4, and then there's a universal fluid too. I do not use that. I use whatever the cap calls for. So when you first dump your fluid in, go ahead and fill each chamber about halfway. And then it may take just a little bit, but I like to let each one of these ports gravity feed it first, if they will do so. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. All right, we're not gonna wait for it to gravity feed. We'll go ahead and put our plugs in. Tighten those up. I'm going to take a Phillips screwdriver just because I want something not as sharp. We're going to go inside the piston. You don't want to scar them piston walls, and we're just going to start pushing on that piston. You can see how those are pushing all the air out. Just do short little strokes. Until all the air bubbles are out. As you work all the air out, you're going to feel this piston get stiffer. Alright, now we have all the air out of there. It's going to take just a few minutes. I did release that and allowed that to drip. I did take this plug out, sorry, and allow that to drip just a little bit. Then I went back through and I did some more strokes on this piston. And now you see there's just oil coming out of this front chamber. No air bubbles. So now this is ready to go in the truck. We'll go ahead and take the cap and we'll install it so we don't spill any fluid. We'll go ahead and get the old one removed and get the new one put in place. All right, with the old one off and dripping all over my bench, move some stuff out of the way. We can go ahead and get the new one put in place. We'll go ahead and take it out of the vise. I was able to get the lines broke loose, so that made me very happy. Before I put that on there, I am going to take some brake grease and put on the end of this knob here. Grab your 2 nuts, put those on there, and believe it or not, I was completely wrong. It's not metric. Everything thus far has been a 9/16. Alright, we got everything installed. We do have the lines put on the master cylinder. I did try the pedal out, all the vacuum lines put on, all the fluids are filled up. Did put 64 ounces of stiction eliminator and also put my oil in there. Everything started up, everything's fine. Make sure and top off your master cylinder with brake fluid. Read the top of your lid, like I said, and make sure you use the proper brake fluid. One thing you probably will have to do is you're probably going to have to bleed the brakes anytime you take them lines off like that and incorporate air into the system. They're not going to work properly, so you're going to have to probably bleed your brakes. You can sit there and let it gravity. That's one of the best ways actually to get all the air out of the system, is just let it sit there and gravity down through them calipers from the master cylinder. Just pay attention and make sure you do not run out of fluid. You run out of fluid, incorporates air. So I guess that with that being said, that's pretty much all I have for today. Just wanted to jump on here, let you guys know that I am still alive. It's just this kitchen is kind of kicking my ass, really. Oh no, it's coming along, we're getting it done. Like I said, he's in there doing some drywalling, or sorry, in there doing some mudding. That's just about done. He'll sand tomorrow. We'll be able to paint, prime, put underlayment down, cabinets in, and they are coming for granite templating on Monday, and then I think the 11th they're coming back for install. So we're coming along. It's getting done. So anyway, guys, hot shots. Sorry, I was getting ready to look at something that way and have you guys look at it. Hot Shot Secrets. First link in the description. Second link is Amazon. You guys have absolutely positively been killing it with the Amazon. That costs you nothing. If you're going to shop on Amazon, use the link in my description. It really helps the channel out and bring you guys some more content. So anyway, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. It's cold outside. Beyond, it's unreal the support you guys give me and the channel. So I do appreciate it. If you guys don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you guys in the next one.